The placebo group blood pressure stayed the same. In other words, the one without the flaxseed. The flaxseed group's reduction in blood pressure went from an average of upper 140 down 10 points on the systolic. That's the higher number. The lower number went down an average of 7 points. So those drops equated to about a 46% reduced risk of strokes and a 29% reduced risk of heart disease.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Brewer Report. It's another week. Thank you so much to all of you who tune in every week and listen to all of our shows. It means a lot to us. Continue to spread the word, continue to like the videos, continue to comment on the videos. Again, the way YouTube works is when you like and you comment and you share, it really pushes us out into their algorithm, and other people may be able to discover our videos, and we can continue to grow this community. Today, we are going to talk about seeds, the benefits of different types of seeds. You've heard us in the past speak on Dr. Fuhrman's GBOMBS diet, greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. So today we are going to talk about the seeds of that acronym of GBOMBS. The GBOMBS diet is said to be the diet that may help you to fight off certain chronic diseases. And you've also heard us mention doctors like Dr. Greger. He has a similar system. He doesn't call it GBOMBS, he calls it the Daily Dozen. But he too encourages us eating seeds. So seeds are a very special part of a good, healthy diet, and we will be talking about it today. And as always, consult your health providers just to ensure that you are on the proper diet. You know, we are, again, not doctors. We are regular folks like you who do heavy research, and we are here to share with you that research. So maybe you won't have to do as much research. I mean, you should always do research in your life, but we are here to help guide you through that and help guide you to choose the best foods to eat on your diet. Now, again, with seeds, let's start with flax seeds. Flax seeds is a flowering plant. You've probably seen it at some of your health food stores, or you've seen it at Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, some of your high-end grocery stores. It's a very powerful seed. It has many uses, actually. It's been used for linen, it's been used for paint, but we are going to talk about the nutritional value of flax seeds when you consume it. And there is a lot of benefits when it comes to flax seeds. So I'll allow my dad to take it away and talk about the science behind flax seeds.
All right, flax seeds have something called lignans, which are polyphenols. They're anti-inflammatory. They're also high in antioxidants, etc. And flaxseed is the king and queen of lignans. In other words, it has about 85.5 milligrams of lignans, and sesame seeds are number two at 11.2 milligrams. And way down the list is curly kale, which is about zero point 0.8. Now, flax seeds came into prominence through the Budwig diet, which was Dr. Joanna Budwig, who promoted flaxseed oil and cottage cheese as a cancer treatment back in the 40s. But what they found out was that it was kind of a mixed result, but that kind of put a flashlight, to be honest with you, on flax seeds. And so what current studies are showing is that it may slow the growth of prostate and breast cancer. NIH did a study on flaxseed diet and the lower tumor rates before surgery. Overall, though, research in flaxseed, I'm gonna read this, flaxseed and cancer prevention with humans now show mixed results. But they're very, some of them are very promising. In fact, Dr. Greger talks about 130 post-menopausal women study that showed that newly diagnosed with breast cancer, daily flaxseed decreased signs of cancer cell growth. So in several studies, however, women consuming flax seeds daily, estrogen levels decreased and estrogen shifted to a more relatively inactive form. So what we really need is more population studies, and so that's what we need. Now there was another study on prostate cancer But they didn't. But again, it was another 30-day study, showed some good results on prostate growth, but research is still ongoing. But where it really, really shines, and this is well documented, is that flax seeds will lower your blood pressure. Hypertension is considered to be the single most important determinant of death in the world today. So, a group of researchers conducted a double-blind placebo-controlled dietary test, which is the gold standard, in some older adults on high blood pressure medication, and gave them bagels and muffins. And we'll talk a little bit more about bagels and muffins and flax seeds later.
Wow.
One set with flax seeds and one set without flax seeds. The placebo group blood pressure stayed the same. In other words, one without the flaxseed. The flaxseed group's reduction in blood pressure went from an average of upper 140 down 10 points on the systolic. That's the higher number. The lower number went down an average of 7 points. So those drops equated to about a 46% reduced risk of strokes and a 29% reduced risk of heart disease. Now, when the blood pressure was even higher, flax seeds reduce the systolic by 15 points. And so the results were compared to some of the top drugs, and the drugs only did it, reduce it by 5 and 2 and 8 and 3 for the systolic and diastolic. And of course, flax seeds don't have any they don't have any side effects. And so what they found, here's what they said. That they said that flax seeds are considered to be one of the best and most potent anti-hypertensive dietary interventions, period. So if you've got high blood pressure, this is well documented. You clearly must add flax seeds to your diet, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Stacey, I think you got something else on flax seeds.
Yes, and before I get to that, I just wanted to make the point that there have been folks I've seen online who seem to have made flax seeds an enemy when it comes to consuming it. But as you heard my father say, it fights estrogen or too much estrogen with the lignin, so it's very important or can be a key part of your diet to fight off too much estrogen in your body, which we know can cause a lot of issues for you in terms of maybe breast cancers and things like that. But I do, after just praising flax seeds, I do have to mention this little caution. It does, some brands, that's the key, some brands that sell flax seeds may have a high amount of cadmium. Cadmium is a carcinogen, yes. And the reason why some brands, some that you may have seen, that you're like, oh, this is a wonderful brand, it's organic, it's non-GMO, etc. But the problem is, because of the world we're living in with pollution and all these different things, our soil in many ways is compromised. So when the flax seeds are grown, the cadmium may get into those seeds. I mean, that's just the truth of it. So consumer labs, they did the work and they tested a lot of different brands, like probably dozens. And the good news is they did find 3 brands that they not just that may have, yes, like all brands have a little bit of cadmium, but they still found brands that they recommend that you still consume, because my father and I were talking about this earlier about the issue with the cadmium, but we don't feel it's something to be alarmed about. Taking flax seeds is still safe. You've heard the studies. And as my dad mentioned, the numbers with the lignins and those different things, it's too important of a food or a seed to not consume in some kind of way. So we still recommend you consume it. So the good news is, like I said, Consumer Labs has done the work. They are very reliable with their studies. They're not owned by any of these corporations, and they recommend these 3 brands. Whole Foods, the whole seed of the flax seed. So when you go to Whole Foods, they have a brand 365, and they sell the whole seed of flax seeds. And you can do as my father does, which is grind it yourself if you want it to be ground. The other brand, second on the list, is Trader Joe's. I was just at Trader Joe's yesterday. I saw it. It was only $3.99, and you get a good amount of flax seeds. And they have the ground flax seeds. So Consumer Labs recommends them. And there's another third brand, not as readily available. I believe it is on Amazon, but currently it's out of stock. But it's NutraSprout. That's the other brand that Consumer Labs recommends. They have a very low amount of cadmium. Again, we live in a society where, unfortunately, these heavy metals are present really in most of our foods. So don't make flax seeds the enemy. I mean, because there's even lead in our water. So, the best, again, you can do is mitigate this, continue to eat a heavy plant-based diet. And I believe my dad has a suggestion how you can also consume flax seeds to minimize the cadmium.
Yeah, one of the things that can completely remove cadmium from flax seeds is you take some ground flax seeds. First of all, I put my ground flax seeds in the refrigerator, by the way, after I grind them. The other one is you put them in some kind of muffin or cookie recipe. And once you heat the flax seeds up in your muffins or your cookies or your bagels, whatever you're putting them in, at 350 degrees, it removes the cadmium. No more problem with cadmium.
Well, that's good
So that's
news.
one way to consume it. In fact, that's how they did a lot of the research on flax seeds. They put them in cookies and muffins, etc. They would put some kind of fake meal in one and then flax seeds in the other, just to do the studies to find out what they call a double-blind placebo-controlled studies. And that's how they were able to discern the benefits of flax seeds. So you can put flax seeds in those cooked items and basically you eliminate the cadmium problem.
Well, I
Period.
will say
And so, go
I
ahead.
will say when I was at Trader Joe's, I did see, because I know some people may not want to make cookies every day or muffins. Now, some people might, but I think that's a great tip though. Like if it's heated, I did see for those who may want just a little bit of convenience, I did see flaxseed crackers at Trader Joe's, and I would have to assume those have probably been heated. So maybe buy that as well. But yeah.
Yeah, but the bottom line is you got to keep flax seeds in your diet. I mean, they're just too critical in terms of your overall health. I mean, they're really, really great for your overall health.
So you're recommending now for people who may not be able to heat them every day. You mentioned Gregor spoke on just maybe a tablespoon of flax seeds. Like if you put it in, like for me, I consume flax seeds in my smoothies. Is that okay considering the
Yes,
cadmium?
that's okay for 1 tablespoon a day. No problem.
Okay.
Absolutely no problem. As long as you're using the ones we recommended.
Right.
You want the low cadmium flax seeds. And that's,
Okay.
obviously the Whole Foods, the Trader Joe's and the ground and the NutriSprouts. Those are the
Okay.
three that we recommend.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to the other powerful seed, and that is pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds is something that I definitely consume pretty much daily as well. I put it in my salads. Sometimes I just eat them by themselves. I know my dad has some other tips there when it comes to consuming pumpkin seeds and how you can better absorb the nutrients. As always, it's not what is it? It's not what you eat, it's what you
What
absorb. Is
you
that what it is?
absorb.
Yes.
Okay, so pumpkin seeds are really, really a great seed. It's rich in healthy fats, iron, magnesium, zinc, especially for zinc. Zinc is good for your immune system. It provides 20% of the daily recommended consumption of zinc. But where it really shines is 40% of the magnesium, which is needed for a lot of chemical reactions in your body. It controls blood pressure, reduces heart disease risks, healthy bones, and regulates blood sugar levels. Also contains fatty acids and tryptophan, which is also good for sleep. But where it really shines, guys, if you have enlarged prostate, mild to moderate, guess what? Pumpkin seeds are going to help you out. because like I said, it has all that good zinc and stuff in it. And so it's really good for BPH or benign prostatic hyperplasia, which is enlarged prostate. Now, because of the phytoesterols in pumpkin seeds, it may help with reducing breast cancer risk. And how it does that is that it reduces the cholesterol in your system. Why is that
And
important?
that's a key.
Because breast cancer cells feed on cholesterol. So it literally deprives breast cancer cells of its fuel. In fact, at one study, they found out that people who had breast cancer all of a sudden had lower cholesterol. Well, that's because the breast cancer cells were eating up the cholesterol. But if you take away the fuel, you're going to reduce the risk of cholesterol. Now, people say, well, what about statin drugs? The problem is statin drugs double the risk of breast cancer. Okay? That's the kind of the anomaly there. Even though it
The side
allegedly
effects.
lowers cholesterol, it actually doubles the risk of breast cancer. So eat those pumpkin seeds because it's really good.
And
Now,
share with the people your recipe with pumpkin seeds that a lot of people love. They eat it up whenever they come visit us.
yeah, the
And I
best
feel you
way to
need to
do
sell
pumpkin
them.
seeds is to soak them overnight.
Yes.
Put a little salt in there if you want. I actually add a little turmeric and what I call turmeric and a little bit of paste to it, turmeric paste, which is my favorite. Turmeric paste is my EBOO and black pepper in a paste with turmeric. I soak it overnight, and then I drain them and put them in the oven at 170 degrees for the rest of the day, and I've got pumpkin seeds for 2 or 3 weeks. And that's how I eat
And
my
they're
pumpkin. Because
they're very good.
when you do that, it really enhances the health benefits of the pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, and they're very good. And I'm not the only one who feels that way. Like I said, I feel you can sell them. But next, we're
Okay,
moving on to, or did you have anything else to say
I
about
got one
pumpkin
more.
seeds? Okay.
I'm 78. I have to get a haircut at least
Oh,
once
yes. Yes,
every
this is
10
big.
days or so
This is
because
big.
I got hair. I am not bald. Now, guess what pumpkin seeds will do? 2 to 3 pumpkin seeds can increase your hair growth up to 40%, especially if you have alopecia. But if you add it with a little bit of soybeans and jalapeno, and I know you love this, Stacey, because you half Mexican. So the bottom the bottom line is jalapeno and a little bit
Yes.
of soybean and pumpkin seeds will help your hair grow if you consume them that way. Who knew?
I know my mom will love this. I'm definitely
All you need
sharing
is
this
a
study
half.
with her.
All you need is one jalapeno with your pumpkin seeds. How about that?
Wow. Wait, so it's jalapeno, pumpkin seeds. Now I
And
thought you
soy. I eat them soybeans. I may eat some edamame beans. I buy
edamame.
dried edamame beans. And so a 40% increase in hair growth. How about that?
Amazing. Add those
Amazing.
pumpkin seeds to your salsas. No, okay.
Yeah. I figure you
No,
say
actually,
that.
I could still add them to my salads. And then if you want a little spice in your life, put the jalapeno as a topper and the edamame beans as well, which we
Yep,
sometimes
that's
already
right.
do. So there you go. And you have a head full of hair, which is what I
All right.
actually need to work on for myself. So are we ready to move on to the next
Yeah,
topic?
let's do the chia.
All right. Oh, yeah. And which, by the way, they look like, well, what they are. And I can't front. Sometimes I don't like the look of chia seeds, but they have a lot of benefits. Go ahead.
So chia seeds, and Stacey, you need to tell them what you do with them. Um, yeah, they lower blood pressure, cholesterol, and support digestion. That's Harvard Health. Okay. So chia seeds may lower blood pressure, cholesterol, and support digestion. They're high in fiber, antioxidants, and omega-3. Now, all of these things are high in omega-3, by the way. Um, but Dr. Greger of nutritionfacts.org recommends that you grind them for better nutrition and nutrient absorption. Again, it's not what you eat or drink, it's what you absorb. In one study, those eating the ground chia, here's a really good one, significantly more weight and significantly more waistline in terms of waist circumference. How about that?
Mm.
If you eat your chia seeds.
I will say they do have fiber. I know this.
Right. So it's going to move you.
Yes.
Also may help reduce inflammation and support heart health and also anxiety and depression. Again, all of these minerals and et cetera in them are very good for that. Now, vegans use chia seeds as a egg substitute. You
Yes.
put two
In fact, I
tablespoons of
saw a
chia
great
seeds.
recipe on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put a recipe out on that. Uh, Put in about a
Egg
half a
white.
cup
Yeah.
of water,
Right.
and let it sit for about 10 minutes, and it gels. It becomes like
Mm-hmm.
a like egg
Right.
white and egg yolk. It looks more like
Mm-hmm.
egg white. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another good way to get your chia seeds. You can get them in whatever your baked goods are. If you're using, if you instead of using eggs, you would use chia seed, the substitute, as an egg substitute. So that's another good way to get them. All right.
Yes, absolutely. And I will. I'll link a video of a woman actually making brownies using chia seeds as her egg substitute, which I thought
So
was
that so
interesting.
those so what we're talking about is a good way to get your flax seeds and your chia seeds is to put them in muffins or baked goods, and you get the double benefit because now you're getting the chia seeds plus the flax seeds without the cadmium. So that's another good point to make. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Now, next we have hemp seeds, which I tend to put on top of my salads, and I know some people do put them in their smoothies. So, what are some of the benefits?
Well, I love hemp seeds. One thing about hemp seeds, they don't have quite as much in terms of lignans as flax seeds, but they are very high in protein, and they're
Hmm.
not as high in omega-3 as flax seeds, but they're almost as high in omega-3. But they have a little bit more of omega-6. But they're also rich in magnesium, iron, and zinc, reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular disease, and may help with blood sugar control. So when you
Which a
add
lot
up
of people
all
do.
of these seeds, you're seeing this pattern: cardiovascular health, blood sugar control, weight control, magnesium, which is good for a lot of body functions, which helps with sleep. So it's this synergy, if you will, of all of these seeds that make a big difference. All of these seeds are in our diet.
Right,
So
and it's a
that's why
variety.
we recommend that.
Right, and you need that variety, as we've said and many others have said. You need variety in your diet, your daily diet. So try to be creative and try to consume all of these different seeds. So we have another seed. We have the sesame seeds, and I know that with this you found a very cool study, and I take it you said it will help folks in your generation.
Yeah, this is for all of you all out there that are over 50 and 60, you will definitely want to add sesame seeds to your diet. Why? Because it's good for knee osteoarthritis. 50 patients with osteoarthritis of the knee were split into two groups: standard treatment and standard treatment plus a quarter cup of sesame seed a day for 2 months. And before they started, they described their pain between 9 and 10, where 0 is no pain and 10 is the max. After 2 months, the pain was down to 7 in the placebo control group, but the sesame seed group dropped down to 3.5. Okay,
Wow.
3.5. So they had a significant loss in pain. So guess what? I'm gonna have to add me some more sesame seeds to my diet because that osteoarthritis author is undefeated. So we got to do all we can to get rid of the author.
Well, I know that sesame oil is very popular with Asian cuisine. A little goes a long way, as folks say. I mean, it's added in a lot of the cuisines from the lo meins, certain rice recipes, etc. So sesame oil is very popular there. If you're trying to think of some recipes to use sesame oil.
So that's it for us.
All right.
For me.
All right. So that concludes our show for today. I think my dad gave a great breakdown as to what all of these different seeds can benefit. Great for heart health, great for gut health, may prevent certain cancers. I mean, the list goes on. The key is, like I said as well, variety, and also knowing how to consume them, knowing the right brands to purchase, because again, we live in a certain environment. But the good news is there are plenty of options to choose from, and living a plant-based diet through the studies, through just observation, has consistently been proven to be the best diet to have optimal health. That seems to be what it is. So just try to have a more or majority plant-based diet. Like I said, me and my father aren't vegans, but a great amount of our diet is plant-based, and we consume these seeds. And it's been great for us. So highly recommend. And as always, still talk to your healthcare providers, but highly recommend that you consume these seeds. Any other closing remarks?
No, I think that some of our uh, previous viewers can go back and especially on the hypertension piece. Um, if you're drinking uh, hibiscus tea, if you go back and look at that, so I think that what you would do is you basically will add these seeds, take these seeds along with some hibiscus tea, to be honest with you.
Yes, which I do
Because if you
sometimes.
if you're taking hibiscus tea along with your flax seeds, which is considered the single most important determinant of death in the world, is hypertension. I'm going to really focus on that. I'm going to focus on flax seeds and making sure that's in my diet, and also put in some the hibiscus tea as we have previously discussed. So again, it's all about the combinations of foods.
I just had a thought though, just before we go. The way that you heat up your pumpkin seeds, I wonder if we can now do the same with the flax seeds. If you buy the whole seeds from Whole Foods, kind of put
But
them in a sheet pan.
what they found was if you just heated the seeds themselves, you don't get that reduction. It's the moisture
Oh, I
in
see.
the
Okay.
muffin and cookies, etc., along with the heat that reduces the cadmium. You can't just heat the seeds alone.
I got it. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Or maybe some others had a similar question. Okay. So it's the combination of moisture and heat. Okay, got it. All right. Well, hey, there's still solutions out there. But that again is our show for today. Thank you again for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Get us out there in that algorithm. Get us out there in terms of sharing to your friends, your family, so that we can just continue to grow our community. Thank you again so much.